Good evening and welcome, St. Albert sports fans, to another year of Falcon football and St. Albert activities on the Hill. I'm Charlie Narmy, joined by Matt Matson, our producer Alexis Narmy, and our cameraman Brian Holder. Matt, can't remember a more exciting first game on the Hill.
Yeah, changes afoot, Charlie. It's new coach, new mentality. You just want to see what's going to happen. The feeling is good, and now it'll translate on the field. And you want to win, but you want to kind of see how things go. Everything we hear sounds exciting for this year.
I've compared it with a few people to Matt Rule down in Lincoln. I think they got the right guy, but it's going to take
It's 1A class above the Falcons. More kids, bigger kids. That happens when you step up a class and you step into a top program led by Coach Jeff Casey, And I'll say this for all your old people out there. His son, I believe, is the quarterback, Ben Casey. For all you old people, that's not the TV doctor. and I think it's even older than Marcus Welby, so I don't expect you to get that reference, Charlie, but some of our loyal fans out there will have heard of Ben Casey. And I don't think I've ever seen the show, but it's Treynor will put out a good program. They have good-looking athletes, so they're good warming up. So now we'll just have to establish our identity. What are we going to look like? It'll be fun to find out.
Exactly. I think the Falcons have some size up front. Defense should be good. It will be, we just don't know what to expect on offense. But let's have a great season. Thanks for joining us here on StAlbertSportsFan.com. Again, the text message number tonight, we want to know how our audio sounds, how the video looks. We also want to hear scores from around the area.
Yeah, we do.
We also want to know who you are and where you're watching tonight. 402-639-0788. And here is the opening varsity activity on the Hill for 2023-2004. That's Tony Bush, the senior, with the Drake offer. He'll cover the football at about the 28-yard line. And here comes the new look Falcon offense. Owen Marshall under center once again.
And we believe that center, Charlie, is going to be Sawyer Sheffield. He's going to be joined on the offensive line by Brandon McCall, Jaden Beckman, Jack Burt, and Nolan Collette. If it holds, if it's somebody different, we will let you know.
Going to lose a couple on the play. Going to bring up 2nd and 12. Kyle Irwin, 5'8", 150-pound sophomore. Matt, I would not be surprised to see a freshman in the backfield tonight. Adrian Jessen.
Okay.
Looked awfully good in the scrimmage last
All right.
week.
Somebody was paying attention. That would be you, because I was here and I did not notice that. But, I was looking at the field to see if field crew guys been doing their thing like we should.
Luke Wettengill is the split up top. Here's the handoff to Irwin, right side again. Nothing doing. Treynor, big and strong up front. Going to bring up 3rd and 14 for the Falcons. Luke Wettengill not at the scrimmage last week for good reason. Older brother, Ryan, got married in Colorado last week.
I think that's on the list of approved reasons to miss. I will check that at halftime.
Avery Beck joins him up top. Parker Heisterkamp down below. Marshall in the shotgun. 10:55 to go here in the first. Coach Wood's going to take a little time. Falcons might want to slow this game down a little bit. Expecting a defensive battle. Marshall drops back. Not much doing him before out of pocket. He'll be taken down. Treynor, big, strong, tough up front. Give credit to Zach Robbins in on the sack. Going to bring up 4th and 20 for the Falcons. That the punting game, we just don't know much about tonight.
We don't. We've heard that punting may still be in development.
Looks like Matt Holliday is going to stand back and punt for the Falcons. He was an all-city linebacker last year for St. Albert.
Yep, you're taking an athlete and put him in a position to do a little rugby-style kick.
Gets off a pretty good one. Will bounce to the 44 and go out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. And Treynor, a high-powered throwing attack we expect this year. Again, as Matt said, Ben Casey is your quarterback. Expecting to throw to Carson Elwood, Jace Tams.
That is who we're expecting to see. So we'll see some bigger guys on the line we talked about before. Some of the offensive linemen, I've got those from our PA guy. We look for Cade Reed, Holden Minahan, Levi Young, Jared Schwarty, and Locke Helvey.
We love the big fellas up front. That's where it all starts.
Yeah, we'll try to remember to say them again, but that could be it. I hope you're listening.
Treynor goes shotgun themselves. Falcons come blitz up the middle. Not much doing. He'll break it outside. Good run there by 24. Danny Kinsella. Kinsella will get 6. Going to bring up second and 4. Treynor big and strong up front. Look at 57. It's Jared Schwarty, 6'5", 250. Good opening test for the Falcons. Second and 4, 9:30 to go here in the first. It's scoreless. Give over off left-hand side, nothing doing. Kinsella finally brought down, but not after a gain of about 6 on the play. 17 on the tackle. New to St. Albert this year, big family, Will Beiske. Military family, new to the area this year.
Senior.
He's a senior.
Leader of the pack, apparently. Some younger siblings, right?
I think maybe 7 younger siblings.
He's first among equals, and he's top rank.
Shotgun formation again. Kinsella up the middle. Not as much doing this time, but he's still going to plow his way forward, carry defenders. He'll get 4, going to bring up second and 6.
Yeah, we're seeing the line of scrimmage move, so that's so far the difference.
Falcons do have some size up front. That's 55, Jaden Beckman. Jack Burt, 56, new to St. Albert this year into the community. He's a All-American power lifter. Second and 4. Burt just a freshman, though. A little undersized still. Growing into that body. Kinsella, right-hand side. Kinsella's going to break it. Kinsella to the house. 24. Danny Kinsella on a 37-yard touchdown run, and Treynor leads 6-0 with 8:28 to go here in the first.
Yeah, Treynor started that drive on their own 47, and all those yards, all 53 yards, were picked up by Kinsella on 4 runs.
Okay, we're getting word that we can hear Matt really well, and I am really faint. We will work on that. Thank you. Kinsella's kick is good, and it's 7-0, 8:28 to go here in the first. Oh, that's much better, Alexis. Thank you. All right, let us know. Keep us updated. Again, we want scores in the area. We're looking for Falcon district opponents, city schools.
Harlan-Lewis Central, for example.
A few scores over in Omaha, perhaps. One of our assistants at work, his son is a starting defensive lineman at Millard West.
All right.
They're at Millard South tonight. Share the same field over at Buell.
A Wildcat. Yeah, we take updates on Hawkeye 10 schools.
And again, we want to know where you are watching tonight. We give out a fake prize.
Yes, we do.
For those farthest away.
As real as our fake prizes get, you get one of those.
Treynor with a short kick last time. We'll see if Peter Young sends it deep this go-around. We expected a front to come through earlier today. It kind of did, but it did not clear out the humidity. It is still low mid-80s and very humid, and not much of a breeze out there.
No, the flag is it is still furled.
Depth could be an issue later on. And here is number 7 for the Falcons over off right-hand side, and that's Avery Beck. Beck still on his feet. Tries to make a little something out of it. Not a whole lot going on. Falcons will start at their own 25-yard line as the chain gang working their 33rd season. Fritz Crone and Mike Noon and a couple of rookies along the way.
Okay. Well, who are the rookies? Do you have? If you don't know,
Mike Noon's nephew.
All right.
And Mike Noon's son, Matt. Who is a 1991 graduate, I believe.
Okay. All right.
His wife, Molly, runs development for Iowa Western. Their black tie harvest dinner is September 23rd. Falcons stay shotgun. Been trying to draw Treynor off sides. It's not working. Now the Falcons are going to try and get outside. That's not working either. Nothing up front early on.
Right.
No loss on the play, though. And so that'll bring up second and 10. Falcons do have some size up front. But so does Treynor.
Yeah. Falcons have some size relative to other years, but maybe not relative to their opponent tonight.
Wettengill down below. Number 2, Parker Heisterkamp up top. Parker also running cross country this season. Low snap, and here's going to be a toss outside to Irwin. And again, no gain on the play. So no yards so far for the Falcons. Going to bring up generous spot. Going to bring up 3rd and 10. 7:35 to go here in the first.
Well, you say no yards. On this drive, we went backwards last time, so
Yep.
we're in, for the game. That's fine. You know, we talked about trying to establish an identity. We know that Coach Woods is an offensive guy. He said he's offensive minded. He's working to set things up.
Marshall will look over now. Again, I think the Falcons smart to maybe slow this down a little bit. 7:10 to go here. Better snap this time. Going to roll Marshall out right-hand side. Not much doing, so throw it deep, see what happens, and it's going to go out of bounds, and the Falcons will be forced to punt on 4th and 10. Gold pants are gone, but some stripes on the helmets and a SA decal due on the side.
We did not get to see those at the scrimmage last week.
Nope.
They wore the safety feature, kind of a padding on the outside of the helmet. We took a vote here and we liked it, and like Coach Woods actually mentioned that gives parents some confidence that kids are trying to avoid concussions as much as possible.
Absolutely. Falcons practiced at 5:30 a.m. this week to beat the heat. Holiday, another good rugby-style punt, going to bounce, and the Falcons will cover it. But Elwood with a nice return. He'll be pushed out of bounds about the 48-yard line. Elwood had a great season last year. Good athlete all the way around. And field position battle being won by the Cardinals early on.
Right, they're going to take over, excuse me, at the St. Albert 47. Hey, our PA guys doing a good job this year. We got Jesse Shea and Chad Hannon. They're concerned about how that was going to go. You know, we told them they'd sound great, and they do.
Officials' time. We presume this is for a heat break, if you will.
I think so. We're about halfway through the quarter, so that makes sense. Speaking of PA guys, they are saying something that we need to mention, too. We want to thank Michael Rosbun from Compass Utility. His company provided a couple dump truck loads of rock, and they don't give that stuff away. So Mike Geyer could spread that out along the front walk here. It was looking a little ragged. You know, the weeds had worked their way through, and Mike tried to spread what he could on Wednesday, but now with some more material, ends up looking a lot cleaner. So we're grateful. We all know this operation doesn't run without lots of people pitching in, and sometimes just shaking their head when you ask them how much do you need for that?
100%. Michael Rosman and his company just completed the big Menards build, so got a little extra time on his hands. So we're thankful that he was able to do that. He delivered the rock up here by the press box several years ago. So
right.
Has a son who I believe will be a 7th grader.
That sounds about right. That sounds right, Charlie. I think you're being nope, maybe you're not being summoned. You know how it works here. People we're accessible.
Oh yeah, they see us and they think that we kind of run everything.
We're people of the people.
Falcons come on the blitz, won't get there. But good defense there by St. Albert. Levi Anderson, again, new to St. Albert, in on the pass breakup. No, not new to St. Albert. Levi comes to us from Heartland Christian.
Oh, great.
We'd love to have those Heartland Christian kids on the field for St. Albert. Shotgun formation gives back to Kinsella. That worked the first drive. Why not go with the second? That was not a face mask. That was a hand underneath the shoulder pad. Tony Bush comes up rather excited. The official lets him know. Let's keep it under control. But you like to see the emotion early on.
You do, especially when hasn't gone your way so far. So when something goes well and you want to celebrate a little.
Going to bring up 3rd and 7. Want to throw a couple shout-outs to Brooklyn Hughes and Ellie Laramie and Piper Pellet. They're driving back from a middle school Saints soccer victory. Give up the middle. Kinsella tough to bring down. The Falcons had him stopped short, but I think he's going to be a half-yard short. And I presume this will be 4-down territory. Good sportsmanship there by Jaden Beckman. And 57, who is Jared Schwarty.
Got tangled up but broke away cleanly is what you're saying?
Yep.
All right. That's good.
Big play here early on for St. Albert, trailing 7-0, halfway gone through the first. New school football shotgun on 4th and 1. They'll give her off left-hand side, and he'll have enough for the first down. Going to bring up 1st and 10 from the 35. Matt not going the Falcons' way thus far, but showing good spirit and fight early on.
Yeah.
good crowd here on hand for both schools. Both schools now sitting on the same side of the bleachers.
And we've talked about we have more capacity in these bleachers than probably the 2 or 3 of our Class A opponents put together.
Yep.
So there's room for everybody. We're just used to spread now. We get to be a little cozy.
Yanni Kinsella has been the workhorse. I'd expect to see a lot more of him. Already has a 37-yard touchdown run. And as I say that, of course, here comes the pass. That one will go incomplete to 43, Brady Phelps. Going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Back to the crowds, Charlie. Church always looks better when it's full.
100%.
So same with the stands, right?
Speaking of which, Father Max just told us that when he had Mass this week, it was great having Mass and looking out and seeing the bleachers full. So enrollment up nicely on the hill. 2nd and 10, 5:11 to go here in the first. Ben Casey in the shotgun, going to roll out right-hand side. Tony Bush can't quite get there. That pass is going to be incomplete, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 10. So Kinsella, the workhorse, hasn't seen it yet here on this set. But again, probably likely 4-down territory.
Oh, I think so. Inside the 50. I really think it is. And since the Falcons haven't moved it much, I think Treynor will be happy giving the ball to the Falcons anywhere along in here. And let's hope they do. We would accept that gift.
Millard South, Millard West, 0-0 mid-first. Shotgun formation. They'll put Elwood in motion, and they'll spread Kinsella out.
Does that game have a name, like Suburban Struggle or something?
Something like that. Here comes a screen over to Elwood. Elwood makes a nice cut outside, stiff arm. And a good play from Treynor, but better defense from the Falcons. Right. And it's going to force 4th and 7. Alexis, am I able to say who Carson Elwood is dating?
Sorry.
Okay. We normally don't delve into personal lives, but we have the approval to say that Mr. Elwood is dating one Lily Crone from St. Albert. 4th and 7, 4:30 to go here. And we've got a Treynor player that may be, well, it looks like he's okay.
Yeah.
Just taking a little breather. That was 53, Noah Jadelka.
Didn't look like it. I thought it was going to turn into a cramp issue, but it did not.
Wettengale will cover Peter Young. They'll put him in motion. Now they'll help bring him back. And here is the give to Kinsella up the middle.
Yeah.
Huge stop
Nice.
from the Falcons. Get a couple, but not enough. And St. Albert will take over on their own 35. 4:08 to go here in the first.
Most people know this, but we need to repeat it now maybe once a half for the first 2 or 3 games. This is StAlbertSportsFan.com. We are homers. We are advertisers by advertisement thinking we'll be firm but fair in the favor of the Saints and Falcons.
Well, and another reminder with so many new faces, we are volunteers. We have real jobs or real.
You don't get paid?
Real retirement. And so we literally showed up about 20 minutes before the broadcast. Hey, how's it going? Here we go. Excuse me, Alexis was here hours beforehand. 1st and 10. Here's the give to Bush off left-hand side. Not much doing there, so the Treynor defense is stout. Going to bring up 2nd and 11. Matt, Coach Woods said, we're going to run spread. We think we're going to run spread, but we still love to run the football. And to me, it looks like somebody just running different things, trying to figure out what might possibly work.
Yeah, they're probing, trying to figure out. I mean, I think Coach knows what identity he wants, but then you have to see what's going to work in a given night.
Heisterkamp's the slot receiver down below. Twin receivers up top. And here is the give over off right-hand side. Nothing the Falcons can do, not getting any protection there. Bring up 3rd and 11.
Breaking through with Zach Robbins that time for Treynor. He was on my pregame chart as somebody to watch. Logged a lot of tackles last year and expects to do the same again.
I believe his dad is Dan Robbins. Matt, I think back in the day, 60s, 70s, 80s, this was pretty heated, maybe even 15 years ago, pretty heated. Seems like it's toned down a little bit.
I think it's mellowed and maybe more in football. Somehow basketball gets charged up more. You're all in that same little gym.
Yep. Marshall, again, nothing doing. The Falcons, Matt, I don't think have a positive yard yet.
No, I haven't done the math yet. I quit putting a little parentheses in there,
Going to bring up 4th and about 20. 2:30 to go here in the first. So we thought we would see a low-scoring defensive battle. It's proven to be that thus far. Matt Holliday set to kick for the Falcons. He'll stand at his own 5-yard line. And Holliday was, I was going to say, I think he was down. He accepted it down at the 5. Treynor was going to take over at the 5-yard line. So he takes the punt, but his knee was down. And now Treynor will have 1st and goal at the Falcon 5-yard line. Again, that's a new punter, probably a new snapper.
Right, just went to a knee to field it.
And they'll teach him, take it like a shortstop. That way that knee's not down. This is not a district game for the Falcons. Treynor is a size bigger. Falcons will have a district game next week when they host West Monona. 1st and goal from Treynor, and Matt, I would expect to see Mr. Kinsella.
Yeah, I think so. Well, unless, they want to work on something.
Eddie Kinsella up the middle, not much doing. The Falcon defense finding a little something there. Going to bring up 2nd and goal from the 4. If I'm Treynor, I run it with him 3 more times. Number 1, thinking you can, and number 2, thinking we need to establish this early in the year. Treynor again ranked top 10 in Class 1A.
Yeah, the 1A district really has changed quite a bit. Shenandoah and Red Oak are in the same 1A district with Treynor in Missouri Valley.
Speaking of Shenandoah, back in action this year, the Page County Super Bowl tonight.
Oh, already?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Shenandoah, Clarinda. And here is the give to Kinsella over off left-hand side. Levi Anderson in on a stick. Good hit from Levi. Gain of about a yard of the play. Going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 3.
I guess I like playing that game right away. It's like NASCAR. They do the big race, the Daytona right away early in the season. So it's like play your big rivalry game right away.
Sure.
But I don't think they're in the same district any longer because, like I say, Shenandoah's down to 1A and Clarinda's probably 2A, if not 3. I think they're 2.
Ben Casey to Kinsella, left-hand side. Falcons can't quite get there. He'll go in for the score, and Treynor leads 13-0 with 55 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter. Not much the Falcons can do there when Treynor starts 1st and goal from the 5.
Right.
And this will be Kinsella set to kick.
Just not that last one. The last one looked good.
Nearly blocked from St. Albert, but it's up and
through,
good.
Yeah.
St. Albert Sports Fan has a new sponsor.
Ooh.
Next Home. Next Home in the Bluffs. Owner and brokers Todd and Jennifer Cook. Call the Cook team when you're looking to buy or sell. Top producing realtors in the community for over 20 years. Todd and Jennifer Cook, 402-250-2169.
Terrific. We are grateful for our sponsors. That's to get the ball and you're at the 5-yard line of your opponent and just run it a few times. A little better field position.
Yep.
Chance to try.
Trainer's going to keep kicking it short. Might have to do a little something on special teams tonight.
Frankly, I don't know which coach works on special teams this year. I used to kind of keep go.
Here's the give to overnight to Matt's halftime to find out more.
So activities. Yeah, I'm going straight to bed tonight, no matter what. So we'll see.
Going to be a good boy.
Gonna be
So
good.
he
Yes.
says.
So I
he
say.
says.
I see some people who are going to try to convince me otherwise. Try not to make eye contact with them.
No eye contact and do not check your phone.
It's like bringing a puppy home. You
Yep.
know? So we will see how that goes. But Saints, I had a chance to officiate them a couple weeks ago at a scrimmage. They had 8 teams up here, and they played around with each other, played against each other. And Saints, it's going to be really tough to put the ball down on the Saints. They're going to have a good defense and led by a number of players, but including Ellie Monahan. I see Monahan's picking out their seat for football. They don't have to be here at the beginning like the last few years
that's right.
to see Brendan play. But it'll be fun to watch the Saints. Very experienced team coming back.
Shotgun formation. Marshall forced out of the pocket. Just has to throw it away. Nothing doing for the Falcon offense thus far. Going to bring up 4th and 15. They'll be forced to punt once again. We did not have the Falcons for a positive yard yet tonight. That Treynor defense has proven to be something.
Maybe we'll reset that at halftime. I'm going to hit the reset button on the numbers.
Yep. Carson Elwood deep to receive for Treynor. He'll stand at the St. Albert 45-yard line. So they're winning the line battle up front and winning the battle of field position as well. Holiday set to receive at the 5-yard line. Good snap this time. Gets it away. Good kick. And it's going to bounce harmlessly at about the 49-yard line. So Treynor takes over in St. Albert territory once again. 11:43 to go here in the second. Saints volleyball and Falcon cross country both ranked in the top 10. And Matt, my understanding is that Glenwood meet every year is stacked. I think there's some Nebraska teams.
I think, Glenwood has a habit of inviting over some good teams in a lot of their invitational type things. When they run a volleyball tournament, they'll bring over Gretna, for example, or they'll bring over some good teams. So my guess is they'll probably do the same thing across country.
Ross Mead and wife Janie Malone Mead in the house tonight. See them down there. Again, good crowd.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to change footballs here. So our understanding is it's just like the college level where each team provides their own footballs when they're on offense. Shotgun formation for quarterback Ben Carsey, father, the head coach for Treynor. And he's going to throw one up top. And that ball is going to be caught. Jace Tams on the catch. Gain of a bunch, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals at the Falcon 21-yard line. So I think they've proven they can run it. Now they're going to see for themselves.
Right.
Can we throw it? Falcons rotating some players out. That's Sawyer Sheffield checking out. Falcons do have some depth on the line this year on both sides of the football. And here it goes to Tams again, but it's going to be overthrown just a little. Good pressure that time by the Falcons.
Yep.
That's Brandon McCall from Sylvan Drive.
You've been
St. Columbanus Parish out in Weston.
All right. I was going to say, you've been driving around. You like the Rain Man of addresses?
Well, I don't know about that.
All right. I'm the Rain Man for dates.
What letter did Rain Man get to? Did he get to J, K, notebook? Number 1's Tony Bush. 52 is Brandon McCall. 20 is Cole Hobbs. 79 is Luke Sundberg. Big sister Paige is a cheerleader for the Saints. 3rd and about 12. Put Kinsella in motion. They're going to wing it to him. That is a forward pass that goes incomplete. Again, good pressure from Beckman. Going to bring up 4th and 14, and I would expect Treynor to go for it.
Oh,
here.
sure. Yeah, I think so. Give him field position, ball in the 25.
Don't want to jinx it, Matt.
Yes.
Other than the first drive, the Falcon defense has played pretty good.
Right. And you can't count much that she didn't keep him from gaining 5 yards in 4 plays.
Yep.
And that the third drive, I should say.
4th and about 13. Shotgun for Casey. Elwood, the big receiver, down below.
Was hand fighting. I saw the offensive guy trying to throw off the defender. Kind of push him out of the way. It was both directions. I'm not saying it's a penalty, just that both guys were fighting for position, which they're allowed to do.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 for the Falcons on their own 25-yard line. 10:38 to go here in the second. Again, we'll take scores, we'll take updates, we'll take locations. And my personal number, 402-639-0788. End of 1, North leads Bellevue West 7-0.
Ooh.
That'd be a big upset.
Yeah, it would be. The Vikings.
Ali Jaranek is a player on the Falcon team. His dad, Andy, is a coach for Omaha North. No gain on the play for the Falcons, but no loss either. Going to bring up 2nd and 10.
And Irwin's have to come out. His helmet came off.
I feel bad for him, but I like the rule.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Remember about 5 years ago, the NFL, they were coming off all the time. Irwin, a little gimpy coming off. He is the Falcon extra point and field goal kicker, so keep an eye on that situation.
Yeah, let's hope we have to use him or get a sub.
Joe Kennebeck down there standing about the 46-yard line. Joe is a reader at 5 o'clock Mass at St. Patrick's Parish, if you ever want to see Joe in action.
I'm good, thanks. I'm friend Joe.
Dad Ray has that covered.
Joe and I are friends, yes, it's all good.
No gain on the play. Going to bring up 3rd and 10. Going to be some sore Falcon ball carriers tomorrow.
Taking some contact.
Speaking of tomorrow, Notre Dame opens the college football season in a 1:30 local time clash against Navy over in Dublin, Ireland.
All right. Oh, boy. It's a good time not to be in Dublin with all those Notre Dame fans there.
Oh, boy. That could get lively.
I'm heading to the Republic myself at the end of October.
Okay. Be forewarned. No gain on the play. Going to lose about 4. Going to bring up 4th and 14.
Dublin not on the itinerary. Done Dublin before. Once is enough.
Are we going to hit a big city that people would know and recognize?
Yes, we're doing a little bit of a troubles tour, if you will. Going to go to Belfast and Derry in Northern Ireland. And then we'll be in Limerick and Sligo. A couple other places. And Edinburgh and Glasgow in Scotland.
Good snap, good kick, and it's going to bounce harmlessly at about the 44-yard line. Now, Elwood's a heck of a football player, but if I'm his coach, I'm saying don't get cute, just get away from the football. No reason to do anything silly. We're controlling the game. Treynor will take over, but not after a heat break. 8:46 to go here in the second. Matt, I want to introduce you to somebody.
Yeah.
Our new cross-country manager, Alexis Norman.
Nice.
Going to manage. We need more on that schedule, so we're going to manage the cross-country team.
All right. Yes, to add a few activities. I think it's, you may have noticed this since our producer is a senior, but this might be the beginning or the midpoint of the pulling away process. Going to be leaving. I hate to break this to you and Melissa, but this happens.
So we have an early score after one period. Harlan, 3A number 1, leads 4A number 1, Lewis Central, 14-0 after 1.
Okay. You know, I think Lewis Central was returning, Harlan was returning quite a bit. And that's, I don't know, maybe LC is about to drive to make it closer. But I was expecting Harlan to be stout, and I think LC had dropped off and lost some people. And that's up at Merrill Field, is that right, up in Harlan?
I believe it's at Lewis Central.
Oh, okay.
But don't quote me on that, as I like to say, seldom right and wrong again. Shotgun formation with Casey. They'll move Elwood up top. And here it is to give to Kinsella over off right-hand side. Gain of about 4 on the play. Going to bring up 2nd and 6. It will run the clock, though. And frankly, I think at this point that's good for the Falcons. Aaron Kiley, 22, checks in.
Tony Bush had a hold of that foot.
And if he's got a hold of it, he ain't letting go.
I like to say he's holding on to it like it's the last piece of chicken in the KFC bucket. Nobody else is going to get it.
All right, we're going to go there.
Let's do.
My favorite chicken in town, Super Saver.
Super Saver, not even okay. People like the family fare.
Carson Elwood breaks it. Carson Elwood going to take it to the house. No penalties on the play. On a little counter play, gets out wide, and Carson Elwood takes it 54 yards for the 52 yards, for the Treynor touchdown, and they lead St. Albert 20-0. We got caught up in chicken.
Yeah, we were on a hot topic.
Again, if you're new to us, this is what we do. So sorry, you're gonna have to get used to it.
Our focus is getting worse.
I think so.
It really is.
With age, Sam Raymond checks out for the Falcons. And Kinsella's kick is up and good. St. Albert, former St. Albert mom, but the mom of St. Albert Treynor and reigning teacher of the year, Nick Finken, his mom, Sue Finken, longtime Super Saver employee in her second career.
All right.
Matt, important right now, I think, Falcons get a little something positive. You came out. You were fired up for the season and need to find something, anything positive right now.
Yeah, we need to see what that is. And I know coaches are looking. The kids are wanting to.
You've worked 6, 8, 9 months for this, and you got to make sure that you keep the belief throughout the season. Again, this is a non-district game for the Falcons. They'll host West Monona next week. Saints volleyball team, Matt, good defense, which means good. Is it a libero?
Yes.
Is that the defense? But we also have some height up front, I think.
Right. I think the Saints will bring back a couple of, well, really quite a few hitters and front row players. My mind is blanking right now. I'm looking at the names of all these guys, so we will get to that.
Allie Petrie playing for Wayne State this year, and Lauren Williams had a big night last night for Midland. Here's a deep kick, and Heisterkamp will touch the ball for the first time tonight. He'll take it at the 10-yard line, going to run off right-hand side, and works his way up to about the 24-yard line. We don't know if Heisterkamp will run tomorrow or not. The coaches, I think, work that kind of stuff out, running the day after a game, so just keep your eyes peeled on that. But the Falcons expecting Owen Wise to have a big year this year. We are told the Wises are new dog owners. Lost their dog Copper a few weeks ago and got a new one here this last weekend.
I appreciate that people have big enough hearts for dogs. I must be a dog Scrooge. The good news is that my spouse and I agree on that. So
been on both sides of that. We've got a couple right now and don't know what we'd do without them.
Right.
Here's Irwin, right-hand side. Falcons
There's
first
the thing.
Positive play of the night. The first Falcon first down. Gain of 12 on the play. And that'll be 1st and 10 for St. Albert on their own 34-yard line. Kyle Irwin got good blocking up front and did a little something with it. There is that positive play that we needed. Luke Wettengill, receiver down below. Parker Heisterkamp up top. They'll put Bush in the slot. And they'll run Irwin up the center now. Not much doing, but positive. Gain of 1 on the play. Going to bring up 2nd and 9.
I'm liking the green pants with the green shirts. It's working okay for me. I like the managers, the young ladies who are managers, and the guy down there with the one. They're all wearing the black. Their managers are kind of in uniform too.
Yeah,
they look good
like
standing next to Father Max that way.
I like it.
They're identifiable.
Marshall's going to throw one deep, and that's going to go incomplete to Heisterkamp. Going to bring up 3rd and 9. Matt, I had a little nervous moment on my way out the door.
Yeah.
And that is, I was told, oh, by the way, my son, Jack, is going to run Water Boy in the 4th quarter.
All right.
Because the Water Boys, well, they're doing what all St. Albert Middle School students do. They're heading to the Pizza King.
Oh, yeah.
Quarter.
Oh, gosh.
We have a replay. This is new this year.
Uh-oh.
Here's the replay from Alexis. And, of course, touching technology makes older people like us, Matt, a little nervous, but she seems very comfortable.
I'm happy right here.
We're back in action. 3rd and about 9. And a good snap, and this is going to be thrown out to Irwin. It's going to go incomplete.
Let's see, what's the signal?
Pass. They're going to mark it a backwards pass, though. Not going to matter a whole lot.
Right.
Falcons will lose 7. They'll punt from their own 30. So we talked about fried chicken.
Right.
Checking in from Mobile, Alabama.
All right.
Joe and Cindy Conway.
Well, terrific.
Had a little Southern cooking, a little fried chicken today. Lunch was at Mary's Southern Cooking in Mobile, Alabama. Right now, they're winning our farthest away.
I believe Mobile, Alabama is the birthplace and hometown of Hank Aaron.
And I got another one for you. You're probably not the biggest fan. Jimmy Buffett.
Okay. Jimmy's fine. His fans are annoying, but he's fine. His birthday is Christmas.
That's true. St. Albert dad, Dave Reinecke, former graduate, also birthday on Christmas. Alexis, are one of the Sheffields Christmas? Oh, okay. Never mind.
Is the birthday of Lloyd Christmas on Christmas from Dumb and Dumber? You would think.
You would think. You would think. Kennedy Sanchez,
right.
St. Albert cheerleader. She's Christmas Eve.
All right.
All right, Ben
Yes.
Casey, shotgun formation. He's had a good night so far. 52-yard touchdown pass that Carson Elwood did a lot of work on. And Ryan Kinsella, they're going to wing him out wide and throw one deep. Not much doing. Going to go incomplete. Going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Nice coverage by Parker Heisterkamp that time.
Parker not real big.
No.
He's got a big heart and a lot of fight. Down below is Kyle Irwin and Luke Wettengeller, 24 and number 3. Falcons putting 5 guys in line of scrimmage now. And they're going to just wing it and throw it deep this time, and it's going to go incomplete. Good coverage by Kyle Irwin. Pass goes incomplete to Carson Elwood. That's going to bring up 3rd and 10 as Cole Hobbs checks in for 17. And 17 is Will Buskey.
Or Beisky. What did we decide?
Beisky, excuse me. The Beiskeys both Notre Dame grads, military family, new to St. Albert this year, like we said earlier. I think 8 kids in the family.
Yeah.
3rd and about 10 from the 42-yard line. 5:53 to go here in the first. Peter Young in motion. Now they're going to bring him back, same side. And they're going to give to Kinsella up the middle. Jaden Beckman in on the stop. Jaden having himself quite a ball game tonight.
Yes.
Falcons have given up 2 big plays tonight.
Right.
Other than that, have played pretty salty.
Both runs, a 37 run by Kinsella for a touchdown and a 52-yard run for Elwood on a reverse.
That's right. It was a
For a
reverse, not a
touchdown.
throw. I gave
Yeah.
them credit for the throw there. It was a reverse. Falcons have to call a timeout. They didn't get everyone out.
That's
Other
okay.
than that, Matt, pretty clean game so far.
Really has been. And I'll give credit to the crew. I mean, you've seen a couple things like, but they're doing a good job of, unless someone's gaining a clear advantage, you just continue to play on. It's football. There's contact involved. They're doing a nice job, this crew.
First game of the year can be pretty sloppy. Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't have 3 punters on the team. Is punting really winning? I don't think so. I'm old school.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Well, my lovely bride having some tech issues at home. But apparently, she's the only one so far. Matt, you ever walked your parents through technology on the phone?
No, we've kind of, that ship let sail.
Difficult process. Delayed give to Irwin up the middle, nothing doing. No gain on the play, going to bring up 2nd and 10, 5:15 to go here in the first.
The key is keeping expectations low. I don't know if this is really going to work for you. And then they say, okay, do you really need it anyway? And then they say no.
Are we
and then,
still talking about technology?
Yes.
Or are we talking about a happy marriage?
I know nothing about, well, for sure the second.
All right, we've got an old standby checking in. Tim and Lynn Vogel checking in from North Phoenix.
North Phoenix.
Checking in late because their dog was sick.
Oh. Here's for a recovery. North Phoenix. Is that the cool part of Phoenix? Up in the north part?
I think so.
Yeah.
Turns out the quote dog wasn't sick. Too much mustard on the hot dog.
Oh, okay.
Well done, Tim. Well done.
It is a little early out. It's not even 6 o'clock.
Talked to somebody out that way today. They were relieved with the relief out there. Only expected to be 110 today.
Oh.
3rd and 14 for the Falcons. 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Trips down below. Wettengill up top. Low snap, and Marshall does a nice job just covering it up. Good sportsmanship up top from the Falcons by Brandon McCall. And St. Albert will be forced to punt to a wind that's picking up just a tiny bit.
It is. The flag's really not. Maybe it's glued to the pole. I don't know.
Might be.
Let's see. It's snagged, probably not glued.
Field looks good, Matt. Field crew did a nice job.
We have the new robot doing the painting, so it allowed us to focus on some other things. And that was good because our capacity was just about reached.
Another good snap, another good kick. And this one is going to bounce at about the 40 and stay there. And Treynor, I think, Matt, has started every drive in Falcon territory.
Yeah, so let's see. let's say the 40. Yes. So I have Falcon with their own 47 the first drive, and the next one our 47, our 5, our 48, our 48, and now our 40.
Millard South leads Millard West 7-0 in the second.
In the suburban struggle,
It's
going to stay. Yeah.
The battle at Buell.
Yeah.
We're going to go with the suburban struggle.
The struggle is real.
First and 10 from about the 41-yard line. 3:17 to go here in the first half. Casey's going to drop back. They like throwing that bomb, and why wouldn't you with a receiver like Elwood? But they're going to overshoot him just a little bit. Going to bring up 2nd and 10 as Sam Raymond checks in for the Falcons. Again, a little depth up front.
Right.
They're going to change size for speed, though, with Raymond. We heard both the Falcons and the Saints, various teams, had a great offseason of conditioning and weightlifting. So far. 4-down territory here for the Cardinals. Carrie Ashley checking in, saying we sound great. Carrie's going to start a yoga studio just off the 100 block.
All right.
Shotgun, here's the give over off right-hand side. This is a new runner. This is Nolan Waterman. Waterman will pick up 3 on the carry. Enough for the Cardinal first down.
Number 19, Levi Anderson.
New player checking in for the Falcons. Jaden Alvarado, possibly. Maybe Luke Sundberg. It's a little tough to see the numbers.
Right. 7, 8, and 9 all look kind of similar there. I like Treynor's numbers. We had that old man moment last week, didn't we, Trey? Like, our numbers are hard to read.
Yep.
Treynor's are very easy to read.
Falcons come with the blitz, can't quite get there. Elwood's going to catch it. Elwood will have his second touchdown of the night. Treynor leads 27-0, 1:53 to go here in the first half. Good throw, good catch from Casey to Elwood.
Charlotte is just thinking it'd be nice if we could, keep them out of the end zone here right before the half, but not to be.
A lot of pressure being put on that Falcon defense so far. And Kinsella set to kick his 4th extra point of the night, and it's up and good. 1:53 to go here in the first half while the St. Albert dance team at the half. Matt will also have a great interview with Mr. Pat Ryan, so make sure you stick around. Matt, quite a football game going off in the north end zone right now. Little Treynor v. St. Albert.
I think I see that, yeah.
Long touchdown pass.
Strays into the end zone. It must be
going to be intercepted by Treynor in the north end zone. We'll make sure we get you some more scores at the half.
I heard Clarinda was leading Shenandoah 30-7, Charlie, in the Page County Super Bowl.
Oh boy,
got that from PA, man.
Yeah, they were
Chad
looking
Hannon.
for some things to kind of fill some time, and we said, hey, everyone loves a score.
Yes.
You're at the ball game, you want to see a score. Denison leads TJ 24-0.
Yeah, I like that non-conference matchup.
Yep.
The city school going out to play someone out in the rural area and vice versa. And Denison gets to, their conference games. Well, they'll get them to Council Bluffs to play Lewis Central, but I just like that cross-district and cross-size matchup.
Peter Young's kick is a good one down to the 11-yard line where Parker Heisterkamp will take it. And not much doing. All going Treynor's way early on. Let's go through that offensive line again for the Falcons.
Yeah.
Brandon McCall, Jaden Beckman, Jack Burt, Nolan Collette, and Sawyer Sheffield had a little more success there in the last drive.
Right. Let's look for something like that to get perhaps get off the field.
Again, we are
run out the half.
Yeah. We are of the belief that this will be one of the bigger and better teams that St. Albert will play this year.
I think so. There's somebody in our district that's a top flight. Is it Kingsley Pearson or somebody similar to
No,
that.
Woodbury Central.
Woodbury Central, that
Ranked
is
number
it.
2 in the state.
You're right.
Here is Owen Marshall off right-hand side. Not much doing. Cohen Hamilton. Cohen Hamilton, number 73, checks in for the Falcons at left tackle. I believe it was his little brother that won the St. Albert Sports Fan March Madness contest a couple years ago.
Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Falcons.
So you can see the Falcons shuffling some guys in and out, trying to figure a few things out.
Zach Robin is also batting on that tackle.
They always say in football, you're going to see the most improvement throughout the season
Yep.
between week 1 and week 2.
That's good. We have a conference district game coming up next week.
Yep. Here's a little reverse play. Not much doing, though. Treynor had that snuffed out pretty well. Loss of 3 on the play. Going to bring up 3rd and 13. But you can see the Falcons still probing, trying to get creative to find a little something that might work.
Brings up 3rd and 13.
Huge crowd in the south end zone. People standing around visiting. This first game of the year is always a big one. People haven't seen each other for a while. Get reconnected. See what the school might have this year for some male athletes. Expect good crowds tomorrow at Glenwood and Harlan. 3rd and 13, 35 seconds to go. Falcons are going to roll out Marshall, a little play action. Going to wing it deep this time. Why not? Just as good as a punt. It'll go incomplete. Going to bring up 4th and 13 with 28 seconds to go here in the half. There's Mr. Pat Ryan. Good to see you.
Prompt.
He's probably nervous, man.
If you can face kids for all those years and run a coach football team, we're nothing.
Exactly.
We're,
well, and we throw softballs too, so.
So, you know, sometimes
not fast softballs.
Yeah.
Change-up type softballs.
I know a little something about softball now. I can fill you in. So
yeah, Matt's taking on a second career as a summer softball player.
Senior league.
Senior league.
Senior league.
I heard you were a high draft pick. Punt goes down to the 40-yard line, 23 seconds to go. If I'm St. Albert, I look out for the bomb.
Right, yeah, I
threw
think,
one last year to end the half.
we talked about this for how many years, Charlie? You can't run up the score in the first half.
Nope, absolutely not. And if you score here, you get to 35, and now you got a running clock in the second half.
And then, you get a chance to do quite a few different things. You know, run some different kids, run some different looks, and all kinds of things.
We don't do much coaching up here, but if we were, we would say send a blitz, but keep your DBs back. 23 seconds to go. There's Mary Wettengale, fresh off the wedding last week.
Oh, yeah.
Son Ryan.
Mother of the groom.
Trips down below, one receiver up top. And Carsey is going to look deep, nothing doing. He's going to roll out.
Yeah.
Has lots of running room, gain of about 19 on the play. Going to bring up 1st and 10. They're going to spot him out a little bit earlier, right about the 35-yard line. 16 seconds to go in the half.
15 yards down to the Falcon 25-yard line, 26-yard line.
We had the over tonight. You're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, still not a lot of scores from the faithful so far.
Maybe they're enjoying a small break in the heat, to grill or do whatever.
Yep. Catch over there by Jace Tams. Tams is going to get about 8 on the play. 11 seconds to go now in the half. St. Albert dance team coming up. I think they'll have 4 dancers active. One of them will be set to return in a few months off an ACL surgery.
Oh, geez. I'm always surprised at how, not surprised, but many injuries in non-contact related sports. There's the touchdown.
Touchdown pass by Treynor. This one is to number 25, and that's Caleb Cooper, the tight end. And Treynor leads 34-0, 6 seconds to go in the first half. Everything going Treynor's way so far. Coach Woods has a big pep talk coming up at the halftime. Falcons still showing great effort, though, as it goes 35-0. Again, want to thank all of our fine sponsors on St. Albert Sports Fan. We're all volunteers, but it does take money to run the website, the servers.
With equipment.
Yeah. Yep. So if you're interested, you can find out more on the website. And again, I want to thank Next Home, who became a sponsor this afternoon.
Just in time for the beginning of the season. I like it.
Yep. All right, 6 seconds to go in the half. Expect the Falcons to probably just take a knee here, get to half, and regroup. We know Mr. Ryan's excited. He's got Notre Dame kicking off tomorrow at 1:30.
I'm going to miss probably most of that. I won't be back from Harlan until.
See, the reason you're interviewing him is because my biggest question would be, what's he putting in the crock pot tomorrow morning? That's what I want to know.
If I can remember that long, I'll try to ask that.
You know how you get online, you get down rabbit holes? Well,
Yeah.
my recent rabbit hole has been crock pot cooking.
Wow.
I know. Pretty boring, Matt.
My question is, when are you going to start crocheting?
Uh-huh. Hey, I think we have a crochet club up on the hill.
Well, great. I mean, that's nothing wrong with it. They kind of fit. Start with doilies. Work your way up to sweaters.
All right, good return by the Falcons out to the 31 second left in the half. Don't know if that was a little home cooking or not, but a nice return there. Again, the number's a little tough to see there. That is going to be the end of the half.
All right, yeah, run that off.
So at the end of one half of football, it's the Treynor Cardinals 35, the St. Albert Falcons 0. The faithful, though, still enthused, and it looks like the players are too. So get ready for the second half, but enjoy the St. Albert dance team coming up. And an interview with Pat Ryan, school administrator here at St. Albert.
Yeah, we'll do the dance team first. Make sure we get the camera on them, of course. Brian Holder will make that happen. I think we're good. This is great. Charlie got the PA guys asking me, need anything at
this is like a
halftime?
new world.
Yeah. I was going to say super nachos, but.
Harlan leads Lewis Central 14-9 mid-second
14-9. Okay.
That's an interesting score.
Right.
Matt, what are you going to call this one?
All right. Well, we're naming games tonight.
Bennington and Scott, 7-7.
Let's see. Let me ponder on that. It's going to be derogatory. You know the answer, right? It's going to be I don't know.
While you're thinking, I'm going to throw a shot out
All right.
to Mike and Kim Gorman watching from home tonight. And Matt, here again, this is why I'm not, I should just be quiet more often. There are 5 dancers out there. So it looks like Miss Wagner might be back. We'll have to see. All right, here is your award-winning St. Albert dance team.
Ladies, your music is on.
St. Albert dance team, supported by the cheerleaders, right
Great.
there on the sideline.
Great.
And Charlie, the music worked right away, first time out.
It did.
We didn't have a stumble, and we do want to thank Paul
I
Cox
was
for.
just going to say.
He's got used. I forget the name of the system, but if you ever gone to an athletic event at Glenwood, particularly inside their gym, they've got this, Rams broadcast kind of thing, and it's a subscription thing, but it really works well. When I was looking at the Paul's chart the other day, and they have shortened versions of many popular songs, or pregame music, and they've cleaned them up in case there's some lyrics in there that are questionable. It'll say the name of the song, and then it'll say edited or clean version or some sort of reference like that. So
I like it, and I will say I thought the pregame music was fantastic.
it was great. It was great. You know, I mean, I do miss Cotton Eye Joe. I'm not going to lie. But
Really?
No, I don't.
That could have been the stunner of the century.
Derogatory. I did not
Wow.
come up with the Bennington Sky, maybe the Crosstown Crusade. I don't know.
Okay.
What do you say when two teams who kind of think a lot of themselves play? The Eagle Bowl? Man, that's terrible. But
Perhaps.
yeah, you know,
Perhaps.
there's
Well,
just me, you know, picking on. You can't pick on front runners, or you can with immunity. It's okay.
Yep. Well, now we're going to turn you over.
Yes.
Matt's going to interview new St. Albert School administrator, but he's not new to St. Albert,
Yeah.
Mr. Pat Ryan.
Well, Pat, welcome. Nice to see you again.
Matt, how are you?
I'm great. Now, it's not really neat. This is a conversation. You know,
Oh, yeah, you bet.
it's pretty easy going. Let's see if we can hear you okay. So
Yeah, I'm just glad you get Charlie.
that's
on the
perfect.
radio, honestly, you know
What you're doing right now is ideal for volume. So how the first 3 days of school go?
You know, I've been telling everybody this is the first day of school. Might have been the smoothest first day of school that I've been a part of, and it actually made me really, really nervous.
Okay.
I figured with everything, with the weather being the way that it was.
Oh,
and,
the heat,
and
yeah, right.
Everything else, I'm sitting there listening to all these other schools from the diocese talking about their air conditioners going down and everything, and we made it through.
Good.
We had Wednesday was a nice short day, so the teachers got to see everybody.
Sure.
You know, kind of get everything established. Come back Thursday and Friday, so we had a really great, not only a first day but first half of the week of school.
And were you down here this morning for the senior sunrise breakfast,
You know,
or did you have administrative duties?
I may have delegated that duty off to somebody else. That's what I'm figuring out. The best thing to do sometimes is to delegate a little bit.
All right. Now, for those who don't know, how many years have you been here?
19.
19. I was going to say 20.
Yeah,
So you
19.
started teaching elementary school.
grade.
Run us through the
Sure.
positions you've had here for us.
Sure. So I taught fifth grade for 14 years.
Okay.
And then 5 years administrator. So so went to school here. I was a pre-K through 12 kid. So I was in the preschool class. The last class I was at Holy Family School.
Oh,
Before
yes.
They closed that down before we moved to 9th Avenue. So
I have a brick from the Holy Family
Oh,
School,
there you
and
go.
I'll tell you about that brick. That brick was, let's see, the school was built when my grandfather's uncle was the pastor at Holy Family. The doors opened to the parish in 1908. School was built there after Father John O'Neill was the pastor, and he had the bricklayers, or had them build a school. I'll get back to you, I promise, but I love this story. But the people who were the bricklayers, they came from Sweden. There were some guys from Sweden, didn't speak English, came here, built the Holy Family School, which at one point was also a high school. They had an auditorium on the upper floor that didn't last very long, but those guys roomed at my grandfather's house when he was a young child. People used to take in boarders, so these guys were boarders at my grandfather's house, childhood home, while they were building Holy Family grade school.
Yeah.
So love the Holy Family reference.
I can remember the preschool. It was in the basement like a
Yes.
dungeon. If you remember that.
Yes, I do. I do.
So
yes.
yeah.
So
it was
19
building
years
up.
here, and your role, just for people who haven't been
Sure.
keeping track, you're
Yeah.
the administrator this year.
Yeah.
The school's, is there a search for president? Tell us what you know
So, yeah.
that you can tell.
For sure. So this year, my role got moved from pre-K through 5 principal administrator to pre-K 12 administrator.
Okay.
But then we were also able to bring on Doreen Knuth.
Right.
And she is, I don't want to call her an assistant because honestly, she's been excellent since she's been here. She's got a lot of years of experience in Council Bluffs Public and been a great addition to St. Albert. And she's going to be, she's also a K-8 administrator. We
Great.
work together, and then she's bringing back kind of an old school dean of students for the high school, which means that she can handle
Great.
the discipline at the high school level. So far she's, I think her job's been pretty easy. She had her first lunch duty, and I walked in and I asked her how things were going, and she said all of the kids got up at the end of lunch, pushed their chairs in, and walked out orderly. So
Yeah.
she was quite impressed. So I think it's come very
So
well.
you're saying we're in the honeymoon period.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
right.
fantastic. So now, when you say Doreen's good at being the dean of students, and I will say Doreen and her husband Jim are neighbors of ours. We've known
Oh, there
Doreen
you
for
go.
many years. I
Yeah.
worked with her a little bit when she was, before she was administrator with Council Bluffs School. She was a teacher at Roosevelt, but on a track to be an administrator because it won't go into details. It's a good project, some cross-disciplinary cooperation.
Yeah.
But And she also raised two pretty rambunctious, is a nice way to say it. And you may know her sons, Joey and Andrew.
I miss teaching them, and then
Right.
I miss coaching them. It was like about the 8-year period I wasn't at St. Albert in my life. So, but she's mentioned that before, that they were
Active.
active.
I did coach the younger. Andrew's the same age as my son John. Andrew graduated here in 2008, and Joey in 2005. And I coached Andrew in basketball. Not his sport. Football was his sport, and he liked football so much that when he played basketball, he also played football.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
We've known a few of those over the years, haven't we? Watched those guys.
Yeah. He lasted through about 7th grade and decided, they apparently don't like me taking guys down, so this sport's not for me. And coached them in little baseball too. Great kids, great family. So yes, when I saw that Doreen, my reaction was, when I saw Doreen was going to be here, that's fantastic. I know many people who work with her.
Yeah.
She comes with a sterling reputation.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I have to know kind of a bit, and I've told this story a few times, but kind of a funny story during her interview. She interviewed so well that after the interview, I was visiting with the bishop, and he honestly looked at me and he said, "Are you going to have a problem if she actually outperforms you?" And I said, "I am not going to be upset by any means if she comes in and does better than me." And it's been so great to lean on her skills and her experiences. She's just been a wonderful addition. But to go back to your question as well, we're looking at a timeline as far as looking at a new president. Generally, that hiring season is anywhere from February through April is kind of the prime time for whether it is administrators in schools in that fashion. So as far as I know right now, the conversations that I've had with the bishop is that we'll open that up around that time, and hopefully we can find a pool of candidates and find somebody to continue on what we're doing here.
That is great. Well, as a I'd say involved alumni volunteer, describing myself, and we're happy to see that you and Mrs. Knuth and Doreen are here, keeping things moving forward, and that.
And I think that was truly our mission as we talked. It was just where we kind of gathered up this summer and visited with teachers and everybody, and that was kind of our motto. We're just moving forward, and I think it's shown that so far this year. We got a lot of things accomplished, and we just want to continue that.
All right, can I interject something here? It's kind of course I will, because that's what I do. So if you're looking for to keep moving forward, if you're needing a rusty old substitute teacher, I think Mrs. Hallstrom put me on the list.
There you go. Well, you mentioned that. I'm going to see you up in the hallways. That'll be
someday.
That'll be fun to see.
Someday.
So, with that though, we are still currently actively looking for an alumni director. So if you know of anybody out there,
there you go. Thank you.
Anybody out there who might be, we'd love to see an alum step into that position, but somebody who bleeds green and gold and can take that to the next level as well.
Terrific. Now tell me where. I mean, is that being advertised? Where's that stand?
Sure.
What's that process?
Yeah, so you can go on our website. You can search career opportunities.
Okay.
Truly, if you just contact the school, if you do know somebody, and I will tell you over the years that I've brought in teachers and so on, our best way to find people is to recruit. On that piece of it. So if you know somebody who, this might be a fit for them or a spot that they would be do well in, give us a call and. I'm not beyond picking up the phone, and we're catching somebody on the side of the football lines and look at those spots. So.
My elbow hurts. So, yes, well, so you have school's going well. You've got an administrative team in place.
Yeah.
The kids are off to a good start.
Yeah. Enrollment's up on that piece.
There you go. That was my next question.
That was the next big piece of this. Is we've another piece that we focused on is over 50 new families coming into St. Albert this year. So a lot of new faces in the hallways, a lot of students and parents who, we're a little nervous about the start of school. It's something different, but nothing but positive feedback for the new students that we have. Parents are very excited. I don't know how many new families have had come up to me and talk about how welcoming the community is.
Good.
And those are the things that we love to hear and that we want to continue. And, it's just funny little stories, we had our first elementary mass this morning, and I talked to Father Max before Mass, and I said, just a quick reminder of the students who haven't received their first communion come up and receive a blessing.
Right.
And I had a young fellow who I happen to know the family, and he came up and he crossed his arms, and I went to give him a blessing, and he turned around and gave me a high five, and I thought that was the cool. I actually had to call his mom and tell him that. So she just said it was nothing but smiles this week from both of her new students. So it's been great to to see our new students and our new families welcomed at St. Albert.
Well, Pat, I'm not a canon law expert, but I think that might be acceptable. High five. I'll look it up. I'll go home.
High fives. Okay.
I'm going to check. You know, you do have to cross your arms first, but I think that's acceptable as long as you cross your arms first. And so that's good. That's good. So you just hit another topic. So Father Max continues to be our chaplain here. Is that his title?
Yeah. So we've actually kind of revamped the chaplain role a little bit to where he has a little more. Kind of saying what we're going to do as far as our masses this year, retreats this year. So he's going to be heavily involved. Not that he wasn't last year, but that first year is always, you kind of look at it as your first year teaching. You have a lot of really good
basics.
ideas.
Yeah.
But then you really get into the bulk of it, and it can be a little tougher. But he's raring to go as always, and just doing an excellent job, not only at St. Pat's but up here at St. Albert.
Yeah, I was able to see. I see Father Max. Now, we're parishioners at Corpus Christi, so I don't normally get to St. Patrick's where Father Max is, but I get reports about him sometimes from Father Jacob.
Yeah. Once again, and Father Jacob does an amazing job. He's up at school a lot as well.
Good.
He comes and visits our elementary students, and he truly does have a way to connect with the younger kids, and he does an excellent job at Mass. So we are very blessed to have both those young priests in our school and in our community, and they've just done an exceptional job.
Yep, I enjoy seeing. Yeah, you can tell even at the parish level that Father Jacob is drawn, to minister to the school-age kids.
Yeah,
that's terrific. So now we'll switch topics slightly about football. So I know you coached a little football in your day. So the score. We had some concerns it could go this way. It's a pretty experienced team, but what. We see some positives. Tell us what you think.
Sure,
about the positives.
Here's before the game started, we've got some young kids in some spots that are tough. I think I was looking at our O-line goes fairly young, and some freshmen and sophomores that are starting. And if you've ever played in any sport, not just football, but the first time that you get into varsity action, it can be a bit nerve-wracking.
The game goes so fast compared to your previous experience.
And if you're a young guy, a freshman, sophomore, and you get an experienced junior or senior over you, that can just be it can be a recipe for a difficult evening. And I'll give Treynor credit for what they did. They put 7 guys in the box. They're manning us up outside, and then they're playing to see if our guys could stop them. And right now, it's proven to be a little bit difficult. I'm sure Coach Woods has looked at film here at halftime, come up with some different wrinkles, and truly to come out and just find some small victories here and keep that momentum going for the season.
And tell me what have your interactions been with Coach Woods? I've had a few that have been good.
Yeah, so I'm not going to lie. When things start to drag in the office a little bit, I may sneak out to practice. And,
All right.
I will tell you this: the enthusiasm this team has, I have not seen in years. So he's really got the kids, bought into his program. He's, everything's always positive. Everything's always moving forward. And I think that he's going to have success here. And I was talking to some parents here, and I said, in a couple of years when these young guys get to be a little bit older, you're going to see that this is going to flip-flop where these young kids that are getting pushed around a little bit right now, in a couple of years they'll be the older guys, and that's when you really start to see some dominance up front especially. So great things to come from Coach Woods. He actually interviewed and ended up becoming our director of communications, took over for Kevin White, a lot of big shoes to fill. But he has done an absolutely amazing job. I don't know. I'm not a big TikTok or Twitter or anything like that, but I tell you what, I've had so many people come up to me and say, "Have you seen this? Have you seen this?" Just in the week or two that he's been in that position. So he did an amazing TikTok this morning of our first elementary mass, our first day of school. So he's been a wonderful addition, not only on the football program, but as a communications director for us in our development.
Well, that sounds true. Now, don't go anywhere. We're not in a big hurry. You don't. When the clock hits 0, you can stay here.
Okay. I thought
we're not rushing you off. Charlie's. This is.
He's halfway through a pretzel. All right. Okay. I see what we're doing over here.
I would say it's not our first rodeo, but we're a couple of clowns. Right?
He's got his kids doing all the real work. I see. So
exactly.
Yeah, they're agreeing.
Yeah. That's what I always say. That my wife has a queen-size bed, and I have a court jester-size bed. So that's. But. I will say Coach Woods has come down to see field crew guys about 3 or 4 times.
Sure,
He stops by, he thanks us, had a meeting with Mike Geyer and me before the season started, he and Mr. Plendel, kind of asking what we just might find out more about what we did, what we needed. Treynor's going to return to about the 32, and we've got the video. Watch the video, but it was terrific. And last week he brought us pizza and refreshments, and it was, what I really enjoyed. His whole family came along. So his wife Libby and his son Bo and his daughter Millie were here to deliver the pizza, and then they stuck around and talked to us.
Sure.
And then at some point, I'm glad I didn't, but I wish I had, in some ways, gotten my camera out. The family, those guys, just the four of them, went out in the football field, and they were just kind of a little ball, a football. They were having their own little family game, and it was like, it was really endearing, and I felt like it'd be kind of intruding to take a photo, but man, I wanted to. So it's, we like what he brings. Falcons tackle for a loss there.
Keep the enthusiasm going. That's what you like to see, especially coming out in a half like this. You don't want guys getting down on themselves or barking at each other. So it's good to see them stay positive.
Yep.
But back to Coach
and
Woods.
we're going to have a running fight. Yeah.
Yeah, like you were saying on that piece of it, I think he truly understands and embraces what we're trying to do here at St. Albert, and has never come in and complained once about anything, always what he can do to help the program. I can, especially even now, I can say, hey, this is kind of what we're looking to do. He knows exactly what we're trying to do and what message that we're trying to send out. He sent, here we go. And he sent a message to the coaches group. I'm on a group chat with him today, and it was just a wonderful message and nothing but thanks and high expectations of the players. And that's truly what we're trying to do here. We want to win football games, but we also want to turn out some young men that are going to be, go out in the world and be successful.
Yep, I completely agree. That's what we've seen so far too. Caleb Cooper on a big gain for the Cardinals as the second half is underway. Yeah, that's.
We changed it up here a little bit. We're on level 4. There we go. Sorry, I don't know names. I wasn't prepping for this.
Hey, you're doing more name. You're calling out more people than we were. We at some point, we've. I should forego the name Matt Statter because I really kind of keep fewer and fewer numbers as the time goes on. Pretty solid in the first half, but.
Like I said, you've got some young kids, especially down inside in the trenches. That just makes it tough. And then you're playing both sides of the ball, and games like this start to wear on. You got to be not only physically but mentally strong on that piece of it.
It's a bomb from quarterback Casey to Jace Tams.
Yeah.
50 yards on the play to put the Cardinals up 41-0.
Well, these are the situations where sometimes, like I said, you try and get what you can out of the second half, and I hope Treynor kind of realizes too that that's the situation, and get some young guys in and get them a little bit better, and truly how you build your programs, getting those young guys in and getting some reps, even if it's when you're down or up, but get those in-game jitters, as we kind of were talking about earlier, out of the way. Because, you have a tendency, if you do run the score up, it tends to, stick some people's pocket for a while.
Over time, yes, over the years. And we'll see. I think, we really, Charlie and I, and over the years, we try not to bait anybody or anything as we go. But, I think you give your offense, your first teamers a series.
Yeah.
And this is the running clock. It's going to go fast.
Yeah.
You give them a series.
And it's going to help, like I said, it's going to help our young guys to get in and, still be able to compete, but it's just reps at this point in time, right? Reps and reps and reps is the way you're going to do. And I'm watching the O-line and D-line work. They're working their tails off in practice. They're the guys that are really getting after it. But being an old O-line coach and O-line guy, I kind of have a tendency to lean on those guys a little bit. But truly, there's going to be go back, reevaluate, maybe move some guys around here or there, and get yourself ready to go for the next week.
Let me jump back to school if I can, Mr. Ryan. So, at 2 points in a year, at the Christmas break, when the semester, does that coincide with semester this year?
Yeah.
It does. I know it doesn't it hadn't always.
Yeah.
At Christmas break, and then when Memorial Day, when you're finishing for the year, at each of those junctures, what's going to say to you had a successful school year?
Oh, that's a good question. Truly, I just want, and I've always said this, as I walk down the halls and I see kids in our classrooms, and whether they're in first grade or whether they're a junior in high school, I want to see, students who are engaged, students who are working, students who are not only doing well in the classroom, but doing well outside of the classroom. I got something from Mr. Plendle the other day that said we didn't have a student removed from a game at all last year.
Okay.
Many of our and we recognized by the state in that fact. So, as I look and I see, I want students who are excited, teachers who are still excited, students who are still, wanting more, who are, everyone's looking forward to Christmas break in the
Sure.
summer, but who truly want to be here on that piece of it. So it's hard to say, hey, I want X number of students to, be on this honor roll or
Or
this
score
GPA.
this on a standardized
I
test.
really,
Yeah.
truly just want to know, and see kids that have improved. Because I've always said that even as a teacher, a student who really struggles, who makes progress, may not stick out in the, overall, but they're improving, and that's what we want. We just want the bar to move for every single
Okay.
student, whether it's somebody who's at the top of their class already and is moving up, or somebody who's struggling who, improves a little bit on that piece of it.
So if there's one thing, if you could say, hey, man, I wish somebody could do this for us, and that's a fill in the blank, and whether it's a $50 million bequest or something like that. But big or small, and you don't even have to. If you want to think about it, you want to tell Charlie and me, we'll put it out on Twitter. Man, if somebody could come up with this, and so. Well,
I think right now the biggest kind of misconception is right now with ESAs and CTO and things like that, where we have tuition assistance for a lot of students, that it's the tuition assistance is no longer needed or a big thing. There's still a lot of families out there, even with the assistance there, just need a little extra push.
Sure.
And it's difficult when families, it's not easy for a family to walk in and say, hey, I need help with this, or I need a little bit extra. And we do the best we can. We don't turn families away for any of those financial reasons, but there still is a need, for that. So I would love to see just to kind of help keep that positive movement forward. If we had somebody come forward with a $50 or $80 or $100,000 donation for that to help kind of cover and show that, hey, it is still important that that students are able to come to St. Albert to help with our foundation. That would be another piece to really kickstart our foundation moving forward. That's really what we're looking for at this point in time. If we want to talk really big, I've talked to Coach Woods. He's, we're looking at a new, a football stadium and track and those kinds of things. Those get to be pretty big numbers.
Sure.
But those aren't things that we want to, dismiss or say that's never going to happen, because that's not the case. We have some ideas on some locker room upgrades. Those are some pretty important things that we have to do. If you've, the new gym and the entrance looks amazing. We just kind of need to take another step and continue that momentum.
Sure. Well, I like that idea. Your first answer was help our students.
Sure.
Help our students, help them to attend, and then the next in hierarchy of needs might be physical improvements and so on.
And
yeah.
2 or 3 years down the road, when everything really kind of comes in, as far as ESAs and help like that, then we can start focusing, change our focus a little bit more to how do we improve our our facilities in that fashion? How do we make St. Albert to be attractable to everybody on that piece of it? So whether that's a facility or whether that's quality in our classrooms, and that's another piece that we don't we haven't talked enough about. Is that in 2 or 3 years as we go through, this is really going to give us the ability to compete as far as financially with our teachers. And our teachers.
There you go.
We've run, in our last however many years, about 60% of what teachers can make in public school systems, and to be able to raise that and kind of close that gap and get, I'm not saying that we're going to get necessarily to fully close that gap, but I will tell you, if we can get to 70 or 80% on that piece of it, we'll be able to go out, especially as we expand numbers in the elementary and eventually in the middle school and high school. Go out and find those top quality teachers who really want to be at St. Albert on that piece of it. Because I will tell you that the new teachers that we have, if they've come from public systems, it's not that they disliked, but they're just very impressed with what we're able to do here at St. Albert. And I will tell you, I had several new teachers. We had our welcome back for our teachers, and if you've ever had Karen Handers catered food.
I have, and I've actually attended the new teacher, the student new welcome back teacher when I was on the foundation board. I got to go a couple times and
so
enjoyed that.
Laid the spreads out this year, and every day they're running up and taking pictures and sending them to their old colleagues and talking about how great everything is. And so, truly, those are the kinds of things that are. If you're looking at a 1, a 2, and a 5-year, 10-year plan, on that piece of it as we move on. There we go.
Changed quarterbacks. Looks like they're running Ethan Hill, number 7, in at quarterback this half. I think what we saw was that the Treynor starters got the series on offense and defense to start the second half, and now it's going to be some of the rest of the players. And the top group will have, most of them have the rest of the night off.
Yeah, I always know when, I like the running back when I played, it was still the old 50-point rule. And
Right.
Games would get over so quick, and you wouldn't have much chance to get the young guys in. And this does really give you an opportunity to run some more guys through.
Yeah, I remember, was it Tri-Center was running had run out of kids at some point. Some school, occasionally schools have to drop varsity football, and I think there was a Tri-Center Underwood game sometime in the early 2000s, late 90s, that Tri-Center was about on the verge of dropping football. But Underwood didn't want the game to get over too fast with the 50-point rule, so the guys would run out of bounds. They break through the line, run out of bounds. So we don't want this game to get over too soon. We want to run some plays, and that's not right. I mean, and that's not right for anybody. I'm not saying dogging Underwood for that, but it's just kind of like, this rule is better.
Yeah. Like I said, it truly is, and that's how you, when you look back at our long-term success there, when we had some really long runs of, it was getting young guys in to where, by the time they were starters, they had already played a heck of a lot of varsity snaps and so on. And you look at any program, whether it's Coach Lance in volleyball does this exact same thing where she's able to, you talk about a coach who holds her kids accountable. I'll walk into the gym. She's truly amazing with what the girls can do every year, just consistent, year after year, and replacing people. So I'm really looking forward to see what she can do this year. I've talked to Coach Sindelar as well with our cross-country team. I believe they're down in Glenwood tomorrow. Glenwood tomorrow on that piece of it. So,
the Saints are at Harlan tomorrow.
Yeah, so
he's tournament.
I was talking to him right before the pep rally, and I know it's Coach Sindelar's favorite thing to do is to get out and do the rah-rah speech in front of it's every head coach's dream to get in front of all the student body and talk about what you're going to do for the year. So, but I'm really excited to see what we can do here this year.
No, that's fun. I was telling these guys, heard this earlier, but a couple weeks ago I worked the scrimmage. The Saints volleyball team hosted a scrimmage up here a couple Saturdays ago, and a bunch of referees, about 8 or 10 of us that came and just volunteered to work that scrimmage to work on some mechanics, get off the rust, and frankly, a lot of people show up because of the reputation that Coach Lance has. Like, they know you're going to go up here. But when the scrimmage was over, I was down working in the elementary gym, and I came down to the varsity, the main gym. And the players were going around with baskets, picking up trash, putting things away.
Yeah,
so when you say Coach Lance, holds her players accountable, she has high standards for her players, and that's
exactly we've talked about our we're talking about our football team here a little bit tonight, but truly across the board, when you look at our teachers, our coaches, our administrators, the people in our advancement office, top to bottom, that's really what we're trying to preach. We're all on the same page. We want our students to be good across the board. And we really, truly are able to do that. We're very blessed with the coaches and the teachers that we have.
I might be running out of questions, Pat, which is hard to believe because, I have a almost 3-year-old grandson who has an endless string of questions, and I learned I can't keep up with him. Number one, answering the questions, and then let alone compete to match him.
Well, I'll just say I think this is the longest that I've stayed on here before. I might have missed my calling. I don't know. I might go to school. But, is there a lot of money?
Well, Charlie's been on double secret probation for a while. So, I don't think he knew he's on double secret probation. But it's a try. You did okay. Although I like someone else to be the play-by-play man. I'm happy with color. Now basketball, you flip-flop it. I wanted. Unfortunately, I've had last few years picked up officiating as a side gig, like I needed something else to do. But have not been able to call any Falcons or Saints basketball games. I kind of miss it. I really did.
Well, here we go.
Enjoy that.
Let me turn it on you then. I'll ask you a few questions. I know
all right. Okay.
You're jumping back into the teaching pool. Tell me one thing you're most excited about, one thing you're most nervous about jumping into the classroom.
I think I need to make sure my references are updated. I mean, in terms of not like Coos has references for me. That might be just too old. But usually never bothers me when things bomb. When I say something I know nobody else knows.
There you go.
I usually tell jokes for myself, and they don't always land.
So let me hear this. So what you're going to do is you're going to tell jokes. I don't know if I can have you in the classroom if all we're doing is telling jokes all day.
References,
Oh, there you
They'll
go.
be related.
Okay.
I know a little about a lot of topics. Charlie can attest. I don't know. I have a wide variety of interests. So yes, if you want to create a course about the troubles in Northern Ireland, I can teach it for you.
There you go. It could be an elective. Might be you and I sitting in there. But
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I'm taking a trip just to Belfast and Derry coming up. Second time in Belfast, and know a lot about that. It's you as an Irishman,
Been there a couple of times myself.
Yeah.
It's it's great. The best thing to do, and this is what I tried to tell several people, and they go, and I'm sure you already know this, is the best thing to do is get off the beaten path there, because it truly is going out and meeting people who are just your regular everyday folk is the best way.
That's what
people have always asked me, because I've been there a few times, and they say, well, didn't you go see this? And I said, no, I haven't seen any of those things. But I ended up at a Renaissance fair in a town of 100 people, and it was one of the greatest experiences that I had. It was just on that piece of it. So
we are, along those lines, we are skipping Dublin this time.
Oh, there you go.
We don't need to do the big city. We'll be in Belfast and Derry in Northern Ireland, but we get to the Republic. We'll be in Limerick and Sligo, a few of the places along the West Coast. Cities for certain, but not big size cities.
Yeah. Well, not that we'd ever want him on the radio, but my dad has a great story. He was there in 1979 when things were really intense.
Right.
And may have gotten himself in just a fuzz of trouble with the British military, but we won't tell that story too often here. But
I can hardly even start about that topic, because I have really strong feelings and being a Republican, which what that means. That it's not the same as being a Republican here. It's not a two-party system. This is, you believe in one country. The Republic of Ireland shouldn't be divided, 6 counties in the north and 26 in the south.
But it truly was, being able to travel back and forth and visit with family over there. I have a family that lives probably 40 miles from Belfast, so a second cousin, my grandma's first cousin. I was visiting with him, and he had lived in what is considered some of the more dangerous parts of the world in Northern Ireland for his entire life. He said he never heard any fighting or a gunshot ever fired. He goes to the Holy Land.
Yeah.
First day he's there, he hears people shooting off. He goes, here I live in one of the most war zones in the world. I go to the holiest place on earth, and now I hear
what I understand is that there were just parts, of those cities.
Yeah, very,
What each the ideologues on each side kind of take poorer people, socioeconomically poorer people, wind them up, point them at each other to do harm to each other. Where in other parts of those cities, things are fine. They're untouched.
I tell you what. Charlie was talking about crockpot cooking earlier. We've gone way down a rabbit hole here. I tell you what, I don't know.
All right.
We're going to have to start a podcast or something. But I will tell you a funny substitute teaching story.
All right, great.
I subbed for a year, and I ended up in a calculus or a trig class, something that would have been well beyond my elementary education that I took in college. And I had a student raise his hand and ask me a question, and I just looked at him and I said, "This is an elective course, right?" And he goes, yeah. And I said, well, this is your fault that you're in here. Yeah. You have to wait for the teacher to come back. So, but subbing is a great way. You get connected back with the kids and get back into the system. And it's just kind of a fun way to, like you said, you'll find that the kids really enjoy those, that banter back and forth in a positive way. And they're really great to work with. I do
I'll let you go after I have a good story about a high school teacher of mine, Mr. Randy Derrig is the guy's name. He was a first-year teacher when my friends and I were seniors in the fall of 1977. And first-year teacher, graduate of UNI, was teaching science. And the guy who had taught science the year before, the place was out of control. There were people goofed around and and he had to work to overcome that. So he was at the party we had here up in the first weekend in June, up in front of school, the reunion that weekend. The all-school reunion, thank you. And we started talking. He's married to a St. Albert grad, which is why he was here, a class of 73 grad, and Randy's he's from someplace else in Iowa. But I said, we'd connected, and he had a daughter, I think, who graduated here at some point. But we were talking, and I said, Randy, I have to apologize. We put you through the ringer. He said, oh no, he said, you guys, compared to what, you guys think you were trouble, but you really, you really weren't. And then he said, 5 years later, I was a better teacher. So I apologize to you. He said, you become a better teacher. But it was such a terrific experience that got to catch up with somebody that from that. And what made me feel the worst was he looked like way younger than us. It's like, okay, he aged a lot better than we did.
Sure, yeah. No, but I remember even for my first few years, especially my very first years teaching, I had a couple of students, and I think I can probably say them by name now. Without getting
Sure.
in trouble, but Sam Duggan, Coach Duggan's
Oh,
son was in
yeah,
my
sure.
class,
Oh, Sam.
And Nick Gant was in my class.
Yeah.
And those guys were a little rambunctious.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I'll run into them now as adults, and it's just hard for me to look at them when they're 25, 26 years old. And but the same way. But they truly make you, they do make you better in the end, even though it's can be a bit frustrating to start with.
Well, Charlie and I have talked about it. We both coached, particularly basketball, quite a bit, and you see those kids, as adults, and it's really nothing more fun. When they see you and they say, God, we had so much fun. We thought, a couple of us dads were coaching them as grade schoolers, and we didn't know if we knew what we were doing. And they said later, we had a riot. That was. They tell you how much fun they had. It's all worth it.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Even too, I know my first year as the head football coach, and it was. We went up to HST and that game was tough.
Ooh, boy.
And I had a hard time talking to the kids after the game, and not because I was upset or anything with them. It was just the way that all unfolded. And I know I sent them a text, and I was just talked about how proud I was and everything. And then the response that I still cherish is that they said even with this, we had a lot of fun, and I think that's the most important part, right? Is that they enjoyed it, they were part of it, and to hear that I had the most fun playing football, that's what you want to hear. And I truly think that's what Coach Woods is doing here. He's been able to combine fun and then the fundamentals on that piece of it. So he, and that's how we were going to build a program as our numbers start to increase. So the youth program behind these kids is very vibrant and a lot of.
I've seen them up here practicing while we're doing field crew, young kids.
It's going to be, I know that we've said that, but we look 2, 3, 4 years down the timeline here, and we're going to be right back to where we want to be.
Good. Well, Pat, thanks so much.
No problem.
For coming up.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm glad I got to visit with you. I'll visit with Charlie some other
time.
Piece, soon as what's your fifth grader this year? There you go. We'll see if he ends up in my office and I have to make any personal phone calls on that part of it. So no, I'm just joking. He's a great kid. All right. Well, thank you guys.
You
All
bet,
right,
Pat. Thank you so much.
Okay?
We
Thanks,
will.
Guys. Yep. Thanks for everything you do.
Well, that was fun. We had Pat Ryan, our school administrator, assisted this year by Doreen Knuth, an experienced, top-notch administrator, came from the Council Bluffs schools. Parent Doreen and Jim, parents of a couple of St. Albert grads in 2005, 2008, and just we're between presidents, but not without leadership. How's that?
Well, I was going to say, thanks a lot. How do I top that? That was quite an interview.
That was fun.
Quite an interview.
That was fun.
It was
a conversation.
Fantastic, great stuff. And yes, I'm fearful my fifth grader, my last in elementary, may wind himself in the principal's office. Somebody on this broadcast might have had his own desk in the principal's office back in the day, but that's another story. So we gave Mrs. Mooney some heck back in the day in physics.
Oh, right.
I had a similar moment about 5 years ago. Apologize for some antics in the classroom.
Right.
And she said, no, it made me a better teacher.
Yeah.
So
Julie Mooney you're talking about,
that is
correct?
correct.
Yeah.
And one of our students, classmate, Christopher Fennell, turned out he is now a professor at Oklahoma State with interest in model development and classical molecular mechanics. I can barely pronounce that. Free energy calculations, theoretical and computational chemistry. Hello.
Yeah, wow.
SA grad turned out pretty good. 6:05 to go here in the ballgame, running clock. And to your point, Matt, no problem with Treynor keeping the offense on the field to start the second half because thinking the Falcons may score, they still want to keep that running clock.
Oh, yeah.
And it's ticking away. Honey, go ahead and order that pizza from Pizza King now. We'll be home a little sooner tonight.
Well, then we'll get to listen to the some of the post-game shows around the area, see what's going on. And
Owen Marshall, nice carry. Good run there by Owen Marshall, gain of almost 10 on the carry. Be close to a first down. Matt, the big score so far tonight.
Yeah, tell me.
Across the river, Bellevue West.
Oh, and Omaha North.
And Omaha North tussling. West Side, Bellevue West, kind of, well, who's really number one?
Right.
Well, I think it's West Side.
Okay.
And the battle over there with rival Creighton Prep, West Side leads 45-7 at the half.
At the half.
At the half, Caleb Benny with a sensational first half, we're told. Profile in today's World Herald. Pass goes incomplete, going to bring up 2nd and 10.
I've not gotten, we had this discussion off air, I've not gotten back around to subscribing. I kind of let things lapse, and I'm trying to decide if my life is any worse, and I don't know if I know the answer. And I had been an avid paper reader. We used to get 3 newspapers a day at home. When the Des Moines Register became unavailable, we stopped, so I don't know where that'll go. So I do miss those kind of profile things, though. That's
twin receivers up top. They'll put Bush in this kind of back behind the right guard, and he'll block for the halfback. Not much doing. Loss of a couple on the play. Going to bring up 2nd and 12. 4 to go here in the ballgame. The Falcons will be at home next week when they host West Monona. That is a district matchup.
I think they're the Spartans. Is that right?
Yep.
I think West Monona's the Spartans.
Remember, we had a game with them about 10 years ago, lightning delay. We kicked off after 10 p.m. Everyone decided, let's just get this done tonight.
Well, and the year was at 2006, I want to say. We at Logan Magnolia.
Yep.
Lightning that called the game at half and went back and played the second half the next day. That was a mistake.
Yep.
It should have known. It was
deep ball from Marshall to Heisterkamp. Heisterkamp has the grab. He'll go down at the 20-yard line.
Nice concentration.
It's a 37-yard grab from Heisterkamp. Marshall to Heisterkamp. Falcons' best play of the ballgame. Matt, the scoreboard doesn't indicate it, but seeing some good things from the Falcons tonight, specifically the enthusiasm and the fight. They've been bringing it all night long. They have not played to the score. They've just been playing tough all night long. Twin receivers up top. Marshall. He'll give it to he's going to keep it himself. Not much doing. He'll lose a couple. Florinda, in the 126th edition of the Page County Super Bowl, leads Shenandoah 38-7. Underwood over Van Meter 14-6. Denison up 24-0 on TJ. And AL leads Sioux City West 21-7 at the half. Matt, I'm getting text that they love your Ireland discussion.
Oh, boy, I could go on. And I really I can't tell you how many things I've read.
I got a special shout-out coming up here after this play. Here's Marshall over the top. Just overthrows Heisterkamp.
Had his wheels, his motor on. It's hard to run that fast and then focus on a catch.
Just over 2 minutes to go now in the ball game. A special shout-out to Anna Helton in Tucson, Arizona. Now at the University of Arizona, trying to keep her brothers in line that joined her down there at the University of Arizona. The Falcons will wisely call a timeout. They want to get a score here.
Sure.
Build a little momentum for next week and the rest of the season. Harlan leads Lewis Central 32-12.
Okay. There's some exciting games tonight, but
Logan Magnolia leads Missouri Valley 22-8.
The battle for Harrison County.
And Red Oak leads Southwest Valley 25-20.
Really? Okay, good.
So that's interesting.
The Timberwolves of Southwest Valley. We've had some heated battles with the T-Wolves over the years.
And I will say a great job from PA announcer Jesse Shea, also Chad Hannon, announcing these scores to the crowd. If you want people come to the ball games, they want to hear those scores.
Absolutely. We don't have a ribbon that runs around the edge of the stadium to post scores all the time like a college or an NFL game. I hear that's next. I don't know.
You never know. Pat was doing a great job soliciting funds. I love it.
He did have things laid out in hierarchical order.
Marshall's going to roll out and run a man over.
Take the fight.
About 4.
Yeah. Take the heat to the tackler.
Going to bring up 4th and 7. Normally the Falcons would kick the field goal here. Irwin's a really good kicker, but not with this score. They're going to try and get a touchdown there.
Right. And again, this is something that Treynor knows the score. We know the score. I mean, this is
not bad blood like it might have been decades past. Falcons will split 2 each way. Irwin will stay back to help out Marshall. Sawyer Sheffield doing a nice job at center tonight. And Marshall's going to be forced out of the pocket, rolling left. He's got good wheels. He needs 7. And he's going to be brought down about the 18-yard line.
It's a nice tackle that time. Good form tackle that time by number 27 for Treynor. That was Corbin Teen.
Would imagine that Treynor will get one more playoff, and that might do it for the ball game. Matt, we have Field Crew Wednesday.
Field Crew Wednesday, yes. I've told the guys, we're in pretty good shape. Maybe we'll take the week out. Oh, no. The guys, the crew.
They want to work.
The crew would hear none of it.
The great Joe Nicholas was very concerned that we had an automatic painter. Well, because,
right.
Well, then what are they going to do? I said, I think Matt and
Mike Geyer
are going to find a few projects for you.
Yes, we took down a tree that was in bad shape. It took about 3 weeks from start to finish to taking it down, chopping it up, loading it in a dumpster. 3 weeks of one night at a time, but probably next season we'll have another one that needs to go. I think there's some emerald ash borer issues going on.
Treynor going to take a knee. Good sportsmanship there from them. That'll do it. The Cardinals top the Falcons tonight, 41-0. They score on the opening drive on a 50-yard bomb in the second half. Otherwise, these two teams played scoreless in the second half. Matt, any parting thoughts tonight?
No, just big things coming up this week. Go see your Saints, see your Falcons next week. I'll just recap a little bit. The summer, we're concerned. We don't, our president's changed, our canonical administrator's changed, but hearing from Pat, boy, it's easy to feel a lot better, isn't it, Charlie?
Great interview. Alexis is going to work on chopping that this weekend to make it its own separate link, so those that missed it, they'll have an opportunity to listen to it next week. And we will be with you next week as well, as the Falcons will host the Spartans from West Monona. In the meantime, get out and support the other Falcons and Saints. They're in action tomorrow. Cross country at Glenwood, volleyball at Harlan, and many other events coming up. So we look forward to seeing you out there and about. For Matt Madsen and Alexis Narmi, Brian Holder on camera, I'm Charlie Narmi. We are StAlbertSportsFan.com. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to joining you